we should be good to go.
Good morning. Welcome to morning yoga. Go ahead and have your blocks, maybe a strap. I'm not 100% sure we'll get to the strap today, but it's just nice to have. Maybe a couple pillows close by. And with that, just beginning to center, allowing your eyes to close, your hands to fall to your knees in a comfortable cross-legged seat. And then we're going to turn the attention in towards the breath. The breath, this beautiful thread to life. One of those aspects of our inner workings that we actually have the blessing, the opportunity to control, to actively work with. Most of our functions just kind of function beneath our awareness, beneath our ability to control them. But the breath is one of those aspects that we get to tap into, that we can play with. I'm just beginning to deepen the breath. And if it's available to you, just breathing in and out through the nose. And then I'm going to go ahead and introduce, just for a few breaths here, a circular breath. So we're just going to inhale to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pausing at the top. 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. And inhale. 2, 3, 4. And pause. 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 2, 3, 4. Retain it out. 2, 3, 4. And in. 2, 3, 4. And pause. 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 2, 3, 4. Holding at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. And inhale back to a normal flow in and out. And then I like to activate the Ujjayi breath for yoga. So that'll be like the whisper breath. It's known as the victory breath. And you're just going to sip your air in slowly. It'll make a noise. Your airways are just a tiny bit constricted, as if you were sipping through a straw. And this will help keep your breath nice and slow. You're going to hear it on the inhale and on the exhale, like the ocean waves. And this is the breath I want you to focus on throughout the rest of class. Inhaling and exhaling. With that Ujjayi breath activated, go ahead and allow your eyes to open. Gently drawing your knees towards the mat, your tailbone planted, Chest comes forward, drawing through the heart, through the sternum, as you begin to walk your hands forward. Maybe you come up onto the fingertips. I know you can't see mine, so coming up onto those fingertips, hands tented, pressing gently those hips back towards the mat. Allow those shoulders to roll open, drawing towards the floor, away from the ears. Breathing into the back body. One more deep breath in and out. And on your next inhale, beginning to press back up to seated. Go ahead and hold on to the knees, rounding the spine back and away, tucking that belly button up and in, and then inhale forward. Chest comes forward, just some mini seated cat-cows. Some really pull away when you go back, open up through that back body. Open the chest as you come forward. 2 more times here. And then taking a few circles. Continuing to wake up through the spine, opening up between each vertebrae. And switch directions. One more circle. As you come back to center, switch the cross of the feet. Again, just gently pressing those knees towards the mat. Tailbone grounding down towards the earth, drawing up through that chest as you walk those hands forward into a fold. Tent the hands, press through the fingertips, drop those shoulders down. Continuing to connect with that Ujjayi breathing here, in and out through the nose. Last breath here, inhaling and exhaling. And just beginning to walk back up on your next inhale. Go ahead and straighten those legs out, flexing the feet, maybe bouncing the knees. Keep that thigh, both thighs. We're going to roll the thigh in and scoop a little flush out from under the sit bones. Getting a little inward rotation on the legs. Should help your knees point up a little bit more and your big toes pointing straight up towards the sky. With that, go ahead and press those thighs in towards the mat. You're going to tuck that belly button up and in, drawing that chest up and forward so you've got a nice straight spine here. That crown reaching towards the sky. Inhale, arms up. And we're just going to take a couple breaths here, breathing into the rib cage. And exhale, forward fold. Beginning to open up through the hamstrings. And that's the first hamstring stretch this morning, so take it easy with yourself. Keep those toes pointing up. Keep drawing your toes back towards your nose, pressing out through the heels. Just a couple more breaths here. If you found a little opening, walk your hands forward just a little bit more. On your next inhale, pressing back up to seated. Take that left leg, place it across the right sole. The foot comes to the mat. We're going to take a little spinal twist. You can hug or hook that left leg with the right hand. Left arm comes behind for support. Start with just a really deep lengthening on an inhale. At the end of that inhale, as you exhale, deepen into the twist. Breathing here. Shoulder drops down away from the ear. Lengthening through the crown. One more deep breath in. Exhale to unwind. Switching the cross. Right foot comes across, hug and support. And from here, taking that first deep breath in as you lengthen. And only as you exhale, do you deepen into the twist. Breathing here. That back right shoulder drops down away from the ear. One more deep inhale. And exhale. Return to center. Go ahead and uncross, bring your body to tabletop position. Knees step under hips, wrist under shoulders. Finding that nice neutral spine here. I'm just taking a few cat-cows here. Start by drawing that tailbone up, crown up. On an exhale, pressing back into cat, pressing into those hands and knees. And inhaling forward. Taking about 5 of these at the pace of your own breath. Maybe you tuck the chin and get a little stretch in the back of the neck. I lost count, but I think we're just about there. So inhale, one more cow. Exhale, one more cat. Coming to neutral spine, we're going to just take a couple lateral crunches. So drawing that hip towards the shoulder on an exhale. Inhale forward, exhale other side. Again, we're just working mobility through the hips, mostly the spine, but this has the added little benefit of an oblique crunch. So keep that belly button tucked up and in and really squeeze that hip up towards the shoulder. Beginning to engage our core. And just one more each side. As you come to center, right arm reaches up and then comes and threads under the left arm, back of the right shoulder to the mat, side of the head to the mat. Maybe you take that left arm forward and a little bit back on a diagonal. Taking a few breaths into the shoulder opening here. Keep pressing that tailbone back. Couple more breaths. And on your next inhale, that left hand comes back in front of the face. pressing into it to release that right arm all the way up into a counter pose. Fingertips reach up, exhale, release. Left arm up, inhale, exhale, threading it through, all the way down. Right arm comes forward and back on a diagonal. Press the tailbone back towards the back wall. Inhale, right arm comes in front of the face. Exhale, counter pose. Left fingertips come up and release. Go ahead and bring those hands forward just a little bit more. Spreading those fingertips. We're going to do just a couple of vinyasas here, really waking up the body. It'll be a nice, slow flow though, so we'll take a little bit of time in each pose. So with those fingertips, fingers spread, fingertips pressed into the mat, tuck those back toes under, shift those hips up and back, down dog. Let's start with a nice wide down dog, so pinky toes come to the outside edges of the mat. Swivel those heels just out of view. Bend deeply into the knees as you press those hips up and back. Chest drops down towards the mat. Roll those armpits in towards your ears. Feel that spreading across the shoulder blades. Now press those heels towards the mat. Breathing here, your deep Ujjayi breath, opening through the hamstrings, opening across the shoulders while we're strengthening the body. On your next inhale, bending deeply into the knees, gazing forward, and you can float or step your feet up to your hands, forward fold. Let's have the feet about hips distance apart. Take a peek down. Are your toes pointing straight forward? I want you to bring the insteps of the feet to perfectly parallel to one another. Bending deeply into the knees, allowing your belly to rest on your thighs. Hands or fingertips come to the mat. Go ahead and begin shifting those hips forward. So your weight's on the ball of the feet, and now begin pressing strongly into the feet, into the heels to get a little bit more life in the back of the hamstrings. Maybe you bend and straighten a few times. Beginning to stretch out those muscles. This is a great one to relieve lower back pain. Bending gently into the knees, tucking that belly button up and in. We're going to begin to roll up like a ragdoll. One vertebra at a time. Head and neck come last. From standing, go ahead and inhale. Your arms up overhead. Gaze up, opening the heart, mini back bend. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, inhaling up, gazing up, heart opens. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, bending the knees, placing the hands, stepping back into a high plank. I'm going to take an inhale here at the top of the high plank. And then let's exhale. Let's start with knees, chest, chin. Inhale up into baby cobra. And exhale, release chest towards the mat. We're going to work the back for a little bit here. The back is part of your core. It's the counter muscles to your abdominal muscles. And so working the back is extremely important for maintaining a good posture and really to be able to do most things, lifting, weight, anything, just going about our daily activities. So bringing the hands just an inch off the mat. I want you to roll those shoulders back away from the ears and begin to draw that chest up away from the mat. Chin slightly tucked in towards the chest. We're not looking up, no need to strain the neck, gaze down towards the mat. Lift up a little higher if you can. Press the tops of the toenails into the mat. And exhale, release, cheek comes to the mat. So as you're resting here, reconnect with that Ujjayi breath. Reconnecting with that breath here, because as we come up and our belly is pushed into the mat, into our cobra, we're gonna have to work a little harder to maintain that Ujjayi breath. On your next inhale, toenails push into the mat and head and chest come up. You can keep your hands down now, just gently pressing through the hands. Let most of the work still come through your back muscles. Just a few more breaths here. Make them as long as you can. You may rise up and down a little bit. One more deep breath in. And exhale all the way to the mat. Go ahead and press your hips up and back, child's pose. Spreading those fingers wide, pressing into all 10 fingertips. We're gonna do just a little half vinyasa. So inhaling forward, bending at the elbows, squeezing them in towards your sides. As you release to the mat, inhale up, baby cobra. Exhale, pressing back, child's pose. A few more times, inhaling forward. Exhale, drop. Inhale, arching the spine. Exhale, hips back. And again, inhale forward. Exhale, down. Inhale, up, baby cobra. Exhale, back. Down dog. Child's pose. 2 more times. Inhale forward. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale, hips back. Last one. Inhale forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, child's. In this child's though, go ahead and bring those big toes together. Bring those knees nice and wide now. Drop that belly down in between your thighs. Maybe your whole forearms come to the mat, forehead comes to the mat, chest presses towards the mat. Ujjayi breathing here. On your next inhale, coming back forward onto the hands and knees. Knees come in, toes tuck, regular down dog. Feet are hips distance apart. Spin those heels out and those armpits in towards the ears. Maybe you bend one knee and then the other. You should feel the weight spread across the entire surface of your hands, all the way down to the fingertips. If you feel little gaps in your hands away from the mat, press a little harder into the areas that are not pressed into the mat. And with that, pressing the hips back for just a moment. Both legs straight. Inhale, bending the knees, gazing forward. Exhale, step or float your feet to your hands. And dropping down into that forward fold. Hugging that belly button up and in, strong core, flat back, reverse swan dive. Use that core to lift your upper body up, not your lower back. Thank you. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, place hands and step back. We'll take an inhale at the top here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, yogi's choice. Inhale back into baby cobra or all the way into up dog. Exhaling back into down dog. Wasting no time here. Go ahead and inhale that right heel up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bending through the knee, pulling it forward to the chest and placing for low lunge. Let's go ahead and swivel that back heel to the mat. Take a moment to line up the front heel with the back instep. From there, you guessed it, strong core, windmill up into Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. As you bend into that front knee, I encourage you to take it as low as you can. Just double check that your knee is not coming forward over the ankle. Take a wider stance if it's available to you. If you're up here and you're already feeling it, that's perfectly fine, just not here. Here's good, here's good. And I want you to bring your hands to your hips. Draw that belly button up and in, elongating through the spine, reaching through the crown. Gaze down at that knee. Can you see your first two toes? If you can't, draw that knee back a little bit more towards the back wall. Pressing out through the back edge of that left foot, through all four corners of the right foot, opening through the hips. So there's a lot of dynamic tension going on in the body right now. You're working, your legs are working, your core is working. One more time, arms up. Right palm comes up, left palm, left leg. Inhale, exhale back, reversed warrior. On your next inhale, coming all the way forward, straighten that front knee. Hand comes to the shin. Left arm reaches up, Trikonasana or triangle pose. Shift that left hip back. Draw forward through the crown. Maybe you gaze up if that's available to your neck. Otherwise, please gaze down. Block is always an option. Shin is always an option. Knee is never an option. And exhale. Where do I want to go? Inhale, rise up, bend into that front knee again, warrior 2, and now exhale, frame that front foot. Back heel comes up off the mat. Stepping back into your Adho Mukha Savasana, down dog. You probably feel your body heating up. I don't know if it's just hot here, but I feel my body heating up. Go ahead and inhale. On your next inhale, drawing that left heel up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bending the knee and placing it through. Go ahead, swiveling that back heel to the mat. So I'm going to switch directions. Take a moment to get that alignment. Instep to heel. Inhale, windmill up, warrior 2. Taking a moment here, you can take a shallower stance now that you know that we're taking a few breaths here. Or I encourage you to go as deep as you can, work yourself a little bit. This is a great opportunity to bring more strength into the body when we push against our edge a little bit. Not to injure, only to grow. Take a peek down. Is that left knee back enough? Can you see those first two big toes? Opening through the hips, strengthening through the core, lifting through the crown. Roll that shoulders up towards the ears, back and down. Reach through the fingertips. Left palm faces up, right hand, right thigh. Reverse. Are you Ujjayi breathing? Inhale back forward, straightening that left leg. Left arm comes down. Right hip shift back, draw out through the crown. Gaze up if that's available to you. Trikonasana. Breathing here. As if someone's grabbing that top hand. Nice and strong core, lifting up. Exhale, bending back into that knee. Placing the hands, that heel comes up. From there, go ahead, release that left foot back into down dog. Inhale, coming forward, knees to the mat, hips back, child's pose. I know as we're moving through some of the more difficult poses, or we can forget about our breath. So go ahead, come back to that Ujjayi breathing. Go ahead and inhale back onto the hands and knees. And we're going to make our way to our back. So we've done a little back work. We've engaged our core through the whole class. We're going to do just a little bit extra, not extra, do a little bit of abdominal core work to balance out the body. Let's go ahead and just start by supporting our top half with our hands behind our back. From there, I want you to tuck the belly button up and in and press the chest forward. So becoming nice and straight in your front body. From there, go ahead and, so I guess fingertips pointing towards the body, only playing with my hands. What feels good? Wherever chest can come forward, shins come parallel to the mat, 90-degree-ish angle in the thighs. Keep drawing that chest towards the knees. That's where your core work's going to come in. Belly button in. Two more deep breaths here. Are you breathing? One more deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Feet return to the mat. Go ahead and grab behind the thighs, rolling the spine all the way onto the mat. And I might have a visitor here. I'm not quite done. Do you need to get something? Okay. Okay. Go ahead and bring your hands behind your neck, making a gentle cradle. Soles of the feet come to the mat, pressing your belly button towards the back of your spine. You'll feel your entire spine against the mat. Hold on one second. Buddy, I'm in the middle of class, sweetheart. I need like 5 more minutes. Ryan. Okay, can you bring your clothes down to mommy? She can help you. Well, if you were tucking there, then you got a little bit of core work. So go ahead and redo that tuck, and we'll just release and tuck and release and tuck, and give it all you've got on this one. And we're gonna hold, pressing that spine into the floor, pressing, pressing. My core is shaking. And release. And then one more time, press, and then with that activated, we're gonna inhale, chest up, exhale back, just lifting from the chest. The hands are just to support the head. You're not pulling on them at all. Exhale up, inhale, return a few more times. Exhale up, inhale, return, up, and return, and last time up, and return all the way to the mat, relaxing. Go ahead and cross now that left ankle over the right knee, open the knee out to the side. So we'll get a mini hip stretch here at the same time. Flex that left foot. We're going to inhale across to get the obliques a little bit, but I want you to imagine this part of your chest or shoulder is what reaches across. So you're not bending the elbow in, your elbows stay the same distance apart, nice and wide. Go ahead, press that lower back into the floor, tucking that belly button. Exhale, reaching across. And back. And exhale, up, shoulder across. And back. Up. And back, and two more times. Up. And back, last one. Up. And back, and release. Switching across. Left shoulder across to the right. And return. And up. And return. Up. And return. Two more times. Last one. And release. Release the hands. Last core exercise for today. To protect the lower back, option to make a triangle with the thumbs and pointer fingers. If you're still working on building that core strength and you can't keep the lower back against the mat while we're doing these lifts, place that triangle under your sacrum, and that will just protect the lower back. Otherwise, you can press the palms into the mat at your sides, right on the side of your hips. Both legs up. Let's start with one leg lifts. So press those heels towards the sky. Your legs are activated. Dropping the right foot down, hovering above the mat, and inhale back up. Exhale, left leg. Inhale back up, pressing through that top heel at the same time. Exhale, release. Inhale up. Other leg. And up. Let's go for 5 each side. Down and up and down. Breathing up. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. Taking a slight bend in the knees, pointing the toes. We're just going to release to a 45-degree angle. Exhale, back up. Release. And up. 3 more times. 45-degree. And up. It's all coming from this lower belly button area, not so much the legs. Crunch that to pull them back up. And last one, release, And tucking that belly button to pull them back in. Beautiful work, bending at the knees. Release the soles of the feet to the mat. Left foot comes across. Right leg comes up, grab behind the thigh or in front of the shin. Flexing that top foot. Beginning to calm the body back down. So we just built a little heat through the core. Last couple breaths. Pull in a little bit stronger on the arms. Press out through that tailbone. Really get deep into that hip there. And release. Switching the cross. Flexing that top foot. And getting that left heel up and off the mat. Grab that shin or that thigh. And begin drawing in and breathing. And for the last few breaths, go ahead and squeeze a little bit stronger. Press that tailbone into the mat. Really use that isometric pulling to create a deeper stretch in the back of the hip there. And on your next exhale, release. Left shin comes across right thigh. Both legs drop to the right. Opening out to the left, either in a long arm or cactus arm. Maybe you gaze back behind you. Bringing out our internal organs. Breathing into this twist. On your next inhale, coming back to center, switching the cross. This time both knees drop to the left, gazing out. Maybe you gaze out over the right, maybe you do long arm or a cactus arm. And just feeling that nice release in the lower back. And this is helping with our digestion. On your next inhale, go ahead and come back to center. And as you release, we're releasing all the way down into Shavasana, our final resting position. Let these next few moments be a time of meditation, which in a lot of ways is a kind of prayer. But the intention of meditation, instead of asking for anything, this is your moment. This is your time to just be open, to open your heart, to open your mind, to listening, to receiving the messages from the Holy Spirit, from your higher self, from your connection to God. So as we silence the mind and we open the heart, take the next few breaths to receive any information, any guidance that the Holy Spirit might have for you today. With that next breath in, beginning to bring your awareness back into your body, back into the room. And as you begin to come back into the body, go ahead and wiggle the fingers and toes. And take a moment to bring the soles of your feet back to the mat. And with these bent knees, draw them in one more time to your chest, giving yourself a little hug, making this little egg. And maybe you draw your forehead up towards the knees and release back as your knees come to the side for fetal position. As you roll onto your side, take a breath here as you begin to press back up to Sukhasana, easy seated position. And as we meet back in seated, same position that we began class in, let's go ahead and just seal our practice today with the chant of one Om. Letting the vibration move through us into every cell of our body, waking up our chi, connecting us to everything. So inhale, exhale first. Actually, let's exhale. And then inhale in preparation. Thank you for joining me for practice today. Namaste.